Hey, ladies and gentlemen, it's football time, and you know what time it is. A lot of folks have asked me about the African teams and what would be their performance or how would their performance look like. And I've been following African football for quite some time. I've participated in it and traveled to different countries in Africa to participate in football. And I think for me, this is one of the best time African teams going to an international tournament, just like the World Cup. And everybody keep asking me, now that we have a lot of teams from Africa, if African teams are going to do very well. And I hope so because football has changed. And most of these African players are not like in the early days, where it's just few extraordinary talent and a lot of mediocres and a lot of no disrespect, a lot of good players too, depend on their time. But this time, most of the players that are playing for African teams, playing in top leagues, they're performing very well. They didn't just come because they fail to make European teams or other nations team. They come to participate because they love their continent and their country, and I think they're going to do very well. We're talking about today. We're talking about South Africa, which is going to be the opening match of the tournament. And somebody asked me how I feel or what I know about the South African team. First of all, before I go further, I think South Africa is one of the most consistent team in African football of late. They've been together. They have a wonderful organization. They have a very good manager. And defensive wise, they're organized. They're the few African teams that are defensively organized. And they have one of the best goalkeepers in Africa, if not one of the three best goalkeeper in Africa, Ronnie Williams. And that in a tournament itself is a big plus when you go into a major tournament like the World Cup or African Cup of Nations or you go into the Olympics. You need a solid goalkeeper. You need a solid defense. The midfield and the attack, a little question, but I think they have players that on a good day can perform. It's a pity they're going to play against a host team, a loud team like Mexico in their home turf. They're loud, passionate. The fans are amazing, and I know South Africans are not strange, you know, to that kind of atmosphere. The second question is how will they perform? They just have to do like what every professional team or players do. They focus on their own game plan and execute it. At the end of the day, if you believe in the plan and you trust the plan, the result is going to be out there. They just have to know that the pressure is going to be immense on them. And somebody asked me, what about other Africans supporting Mexico instead of supporting South Africa? For me, I'm going to support every African team. I love Mexico. I've always been a Hugo Sanchez fan since I was young, but always my support is going to be for African teams, and I think South Africa deserve to be in this World Cup. Watch them closely in the World Cup qualifying games, and they will just special, just special. And I think that will help them, and people shouldn't, think about Mexico as the Mexico before, even in CONCACAF, they are not as top as they used to be. And I've watched them playing of late. They can perform very well. They have a very good young players coming up. They have different players, but I think South Africa can match them if they just go on according to their plan and do their research. And the other question is, what will the the atmosphere be like? Just what I've talked about it. It's going to be crazy, jam packed in Mexico. And somebody was asking me, I slightly when it comes to result, I think Mexico have a hedge because they're hosting, but South Africa can really surprise people if what I observed them doing in Africa. I've seen them went to Nigeria and performed extremely well in Nigeria with under pressure, immense pressure from the fans, from the ref, from the officials, from the players on the field. And if they can go to Nigeria and get a decent result, I think they can do the same thing. I'm hoping they draw, you know, and I think it's going to be like 2-2 draw. But I'm wishing them all the best because I'm going to support every African team. So that's my own little say for today, and looking forward to the Mexico South Africa match. I would answer your question in the next African team playing. So send your questions and I would answer them. Thank you.